Hi and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this pivot table report here with some groupings in our data such as per company, per material, and per group. And we just wanted to get the weighted average unit cost. And then for the total, we just get the sum of those weighted average unit cost. So that's going to be our report. And the next challenge in this example is our data sets. We have different worksheets per our data per company. So let's check this company A. In here, we wanted to get the weighted average unit cost. For the first data, no problem with that. We just have one data for this grouping. So we just get the 0. That's okay. Now for row 3 and 4, that's going to be one grouping, but there is no problem again because the unit cost here is the same, 4. So that's the weighted average, that's 4. So let me check company B. In company B, first data, okay, just one grouping, unit cost is 10, okay. Now for row 3 and 4, that's gonna be our problem. We need to apply some formula for that because the unit costs are different. So to check that, we wanted to have weighted average and then use some product for that. So you get the sum product of unit cost and also the quantity, and then divide that by the sum of the quantity, and that's it. That's 6.87. Let's check it. This particular grouping in our report, company B, material 2 and group 1, that's going to be 6.87, and that's the same. So we're going to do all of this with the help of Power Query and in another workbook. So let's go with our workbook. So I'll open it, and this is the same data sets. So I'm going to load this in the Power Query. You can use data and then from table range, but you need to load that each of that if you do that in such that way. So let me go to the Power Query and call that table when I'm in the Power Query. So the first thing to do is to convert it into a table. I will select my data and press Control T. That is shortcut for formatting it into a table, and that's okay now. Now I will rename it in table design. I will rename it company A as company A, and that's it. It's the table name. So I'm going to load all of this because I already did that with company B, C, and D. So I'm gonna go hit the data tab and then get data from other sources, blank query. So let's wait for the Power Query to be loaded. Now I will rename it first. I will call it report. And then in the formula bar, I will press equal sign, and I'm going to call Excel.CurrentWorkbook. It's case sensitive, so you need to write it like this. So open and close parentheses. You need to have such kind of way of writing it, capital E, C, and W, and then enter. That's it. That will reflect all the table that we have. That's for company A, and then table for company B, and then this is the name of the table that we already set before we load it. So that's it. Now I'm gonna expand that in the content and then uncheck the use original column name as prefix. Okay, and then I'm gonna select the name column and then delete that. I will press delete in my keyboard. So that's it. That's our data. Now, the first step is to add column for that. I wanted to get the product of the unit cost and then the quantity. So just multiply the two columns. So to do that, I'm going to select that and then add column. Okay, there's a problem here. I need to convert it into a number first, both the unit cost and quantity. So I will select that again. Unit cost quantity, add column, and the standard tab here is now enabled. So I will select that and then choose multiply. So I'll get the product of unit cost and quantity. Now the next step is to group this based on our criteria. So that's choosing the company column, group column, and material column. So I will select that simultaneously and then go to transform tab and then group by. So as you can see here, it automatically put the button on the advanced, and we have this company, group, and material as our criteria. Then I'm going to change it into grouping, column name into grouping, and then I will choose all rows and OK. That's it. We have this unique grouping and then the particular table for each. And then the next step here is to add in our main table the sum of the quantity. So for that, you can use list.sum, add column, and then list.sum. But in this case, I'm going to choose the grouping column, right click that, and then duplicate column. I will duplicate such column. And then in the grouping copy column, I will select the double arrow there, and then go to the aggregate button and then choose sum of quantity and OK. That's equivalent to the answer for the list.sum. So I'm going to go back with the grouping column, choose the double arrow there, and then I'm going to go back with the expand button. I will expand it, but not all of it, and check the select all columns, and then I will choose just the unit cost, the quantity, and the multiplication column, and OK. So that's what we need now. Now the last step here is to add another column for the weighted average unit cost. So to do that, I will add column again. I will add column and then add a custom column, and then I will rename it as weighted average unit cost. And then in here, the formula is simple. You just need to the multiplication column divided by the sum of quantity. And then OK, that's it. That's the weighted average unit cost. But as you will notice, there is an error there because the data in our unit cost is a dash instead of a 0. So that's a text. So to do that, we're going to apply if error in our original formula. So I'll go back to the added custom column here. Custom column here. And then I will use the try and otherwise. So I'm going to write try. Please try this formula, and if the result is true, return the value. Otherwise, return a null value for 0. And then OK. And then that's it. It's a null value now instead of a 0. So that's it. Now I'm going to choose unit cost column because I wanted to remove that, replace that with the weighted average unit cost. Then also I'll choose multiplication column, sum of quantity column, that's the helper columns. So I'm going to right click the sum of quantity and then remove columns. And that's it, that's the report that we needed. So load it, go to the home tab, close and load to. And then I'm going to choose pivot table report and then a new worksheet for that. Okay. Okay, I will transfer the report here on the first tab, and then I'm gonna arrange it. Company is in the columns, group is in the rows, and then the material will be also in the column, and weighted average unit cost on the values. And that's it. Let's exit the pivot table fields and queries in connection. Let's arrange this, extend the columns here, and then I will remove the sum of word. So the word sum of, so I'm gonna go and hit Control F and then type in replace sum of, replace it with nothing and replace all. Okay, that's it. I think that's all okay for now. I'm gonna get rid of the grand total for the rows and column here. So I'm gonna select design tab and then grand totals and offer rows and columns. And that's it. Now I'm gonna make this weighted average unit cost into 2 decimal places. So that's it. Now let's check it. Let's see our data for company A. Okay, here let's make it 2, and then I will add the same grouping. Let's say in this grouping I wanted to have 3 unit cost and 500 quantity. Then I will go back to the report sheet and then on the data tab refresh all. That's it. That's 2.28. Let's check it again. Now let's apply the weighted average computation. So in this case, I'm going to multiply the unit cost with a quantity plus the unit cost of our new data multiplied by the quantity, and then I'm going to wrap all of this in a parenthesis, because whatever is the answer of this, the sum product, equivalent to sum product, I'm going to divide it with the sum of the quantity, this quantity and also this quantity, and okay, that's 2.28. Go back again, check it, and that's 2.28, and that's it, that's equal. And I'm pretty sure I'm done. If you like this video, you can subscribe to my channel, click the subscribe button, and see you next time, and thank you.